Well, welcome. Very excited about our upcoming week. Can't believe that after this week we only have three left in our year of Hebrew together. Today we're looking at chapter 17 in full love. Make sure you do the MP3 of Genesis 1 and do the YouTube we did with the volume reading. Carefully read full love in chapter 17, and the translation for today is Genesis 3 1 to 15. Now, if you need help with the translation on difficult grammar, this is the link to Daily Dose of Hebrew. They go through each verse, so if you get stuck, you can go there. Retranslate as much of Genesis 1 1 to 225 as you can. You want to continue to volume read that. And if you can get to the place where you can do Genesis 1, 2, 3, I mean, if you keep going over it, you'll get to the place where you can read through all three chapters in 10 or 15 minutes. And it's amazing how much that will do for your Hebrew reading if you do that. We're looking, as we said in class, at the Hofal this week. These are all the readings we will do, and you can see there's kind of a biblical theology that we've been doing. We're working through the first three chapters, and we're seeing the other connections in the text with that. Here we have the fall. When we come back, we'll do the promise, we'll do the Mosaic covenant, and then we'll do the new covenant as our final reading. Now, as always, we'll review 25 words. These are words you should already know. Dam is blood, Makom is place, Amad is stand, Yalad is bear, the noun form Yeled. My mnemonic device is a woman yells when she has a baby. I don't know if that will help you. Aharon, straightforward. Yaakov, this part of the word looks like heal. It also looks like the verb lie or deceive. So play on words for Jacob's name. Pat is mouth. That's the one I would go with. O is or. Adon, we familiar with Lord. Adoni is my Lord. Adonai is my Lord's. Adonai is a replacement for the Tetragrammaton. Shamar is keeper, preserve. Matzah is find. Lave is heart. We'll see in the New Covenant passage, God promises to give us a new heart. Kesef is silver. Neged, Nagad, Nagad, I think it is, to make known. Elef, we have thousand. Ohel is tent. Mishpat is judgment or justice. Saviv is around. Mishpachot is clan. Through you all the mishpachot of the earth will be blessed. Pakad is visit. Navi is prophet. Pharaoh. Sadeh is field. Zahav, gold. Karav is bring near or come near. That should be straightforward, and we've had a number of those words already in the text, so you should be in good shape. Now, when we get to the new category, we come with a shekel, which is weight. It's also the term for money. Now, in the New Testament, you have a denarius, which is 1 day's wage. We know from Jesus telling Peter to go catch the fish, and he finds the dual drachma coin, that a shekel is worth 2 denarii. So think of that as like 2 days' wages, I think. And that's helpful when you're figuring out how much things are worth. Peah is a side. Tamet is unclean. This will be important in the Ezekiel passage. It says God will cleanse us from all our uncleannesses. The Isaiah, I think it's 64 passage, we all were like one who was unclean. Jeroboam, Yarab, Yam, straightforward. Nahar is stream or river. Ger is sojourner. If you can remember, Hagar looks like it says the sojourner. That may help you remember. Ammon, related to like the word for people. So this is one of Lot's grandsons slash sons when he sleeps with his own daughters. Zana, this is the generic word for prostitute. There's another word, Kadesha, which is like a holy prostitute. That's a fertility cult. This is kind of just the standard prostitute. It can also mean fornicate or whore. Shemona is 8. Shemesh, his son, so Beth Shemesh means house of the sun. Kamo is like or as. Chalev is fat. Emory is Amorite. And look, you can see how that kind of looks like the talkers. Who are the Amorites? They're the talkers. I don't know if that's intended, but that may help you remember it. Hema, we have seen in passages, I believe, heat or anger. Bama is high place. Mar'eh is sight or vision. Carbon is offering. This is used in the New Testament when it says, Jesus says, if you say to your parents, korban, anything that might benefit me, this is the word that he's using. Sheleshi is third. I remember it this way, that the word that has the two of these separated by the lamed means 3. When you just have shesh without the lamed, it's 6. So if you can remember, they're 6 when they're together, and when they're separated, they're 3. That's how I remember it. Orek is length. Tahar is pure. The Ezekiel 36 passage, God says that he will cleanse us. He will make us clean. This is the word that's used. Anachnu is we. We're familiar with that already. Yamin is right. So Ben Yamin is the son of my right hand. Achav, brother, father. This is brother. And then the other part is father. Shibai is 7th, and Hashav is stink. So we're going all the way through 400 with today's thing, and so work on that. You can see these words are still all used a lot of times, and you'll find that they're related words as well. So the more you work on these first 500 words, the better off you're going to be when you're, when you're trying to read. We're looking at the Hofal here, and again, you're not going to have to memorize it, but you will need to understand how the vowels change. And so this is our chart, and get the call down and always get the top line down. So we have with the PL, P-ale, doubled middle radical, Hifil, Hictil. So this will be the passive causative, Haktal. And you can see that this is the double middle radical. This is the H with the hey there. This is the Ha on all, and then you just have the straightforward endings. So this is the perfect. So if you can remember this, you can work out all of these in your mind, but I won't require you to write those down. Same with the imperfect. So we have yik, tick, you're familiar with. With the PL, they're all a Shavah. With the Hifil, they're all a Patah. Most of them will have the Hirik Yod. In the Hofal, you have that Kametz Hatuf in all of them, and then the standard ending. So once you have that, once you know that part, you should be able to make all of these. These forms come from Futato. He does not list an infinitive construct for the Hofal, but the infinitive absolute would be this. And then there's a little bit of debate between Futato and Van Pelt. I've given you the Futato endings, but you can see with the participle o tail, and then you have the mem with the Shavah in the PL, the Patak with the Hirik Yod in the Hifil, and the Kibbutz with the mem in the Hofal in the participle. Now, if you go to Van Pelt's excellent work, list a U-class Hofal system, which is where he gets these participles, and notice he's got a kibbutz in the U-class, and with the O-class, he has the ones that we've listed above with Futato, but he lists the O-class participle as having that Kametz. So they're both experts. Here I have, he's not making the distinction between an O-class and a U-class, and so his participle has the kibbutz. I know in reading, you just check. The mem will be enough to help you see that it's a participle, and then you look to see, is there any kind of Hirik Yod, is there any kind of doubling, is it a Shavah, and that will get you to the Hifil Hofal, and then I just look up the parsing when I'm trying to volume read, and perhaps you will do the same. In terms of our passage for today, and the Nahash was Arum, crafty / naked, Arum from all, more than, that's how you say more than, all the living creatures of the field, familiar vocabulary, which Yahweh Elohim made. So that should be straightforward. And he said to the woman, and I suppose that's the Nahash did, surely is it that Elohim, so notice he's not calling him Yahweh Elohim, but just Elohim. Did Elohim really say, y'all, plural, won't eat from the tree of the garden, which, of course, is not true. I mean, it's implied that she shouldn't eat, but the command was only given to Adam. It says you singular, so misquoting God, accusing him of the exact opposite. God said, you must eat from every tree, and the serpent is saying you can't eat from any tree. So the Isha said to the Nahash, from the tree of the garden we will eat, but from the fruit of the tree which is Batok, in the midst of Hagan, the garden, Elohim, and notice she's not saying Yahweh Elohim, she's just saying Elohim. Elohim said, y'all will not eat, plural. God never said that. He said to Adam, you singular will not eat from it. And then Eve adds, and y'all will not touch it. I can't see anything in the text that said they couldn't touch it. Is this first legalism? Has she invented a extra rule, or did Adam miscommunicate God's word to Eve? We don't know, but she adds this: we will not touch it, lest you all die. God didn't say you all. He said you singular, man will die. And the Nahash said to the Isha, Lo mot temutun, you all will surely not die. Because, and this is really interesting, Elohim is knowing, so this is Elohim plural, but knowing. Elohim knows that on the day y'all eat it, so mixed group, man and woman, you go with the masculine plural endings. In the day of y'all's eating, so this is construct and infinitive construct plus the suffirmatives. In the day of y'all's eating from it, y'all, so plural, y'all's eyes will be open, and y'all, you all, will be like Elohim. And then look at this. Elohim, is it Elohim knowing? Is this the first hint of polytheism? So it's singular here. Or does this knowing go back to you all? It's a little ambiguous to me in the text. I think you could argue it both ways. You will be like Elohim, Elohims who are knowing good and evil. And then we have, and the Isha saw that it was good. Notice that this is the formula, the godlike formula. God saw that it was good. God saw that it was good. Now it's the Isha saw that it was good. That is, the tree was good for food, and that it was desirable. It was desirable to the eyes, and pleasant. The tree was pleasant. And then we have this hishkil. This is an infinitive construct of shakal, but you're probably familiar in the Psalms when it says a mashkal. Mashkal is the hiphil participle of this verb, one causing to make one wise. So Psalm 14, there is none who make other people wise. So the tree can be the mashkal, and she took from its fruit, and she ate, and she gave also to her man who was with her. We always picture this as Eve being by herself, but this is saying that Adam was there, and he ate. And the eyes of the two of them were opened, nifal of open, and they saw that they were naked. But notice this is a different spelling for naked. This is usually the like go into exile naked. They saw that they were exile naked, and they clothed the leaf of a fig, or they sewed it together, and they made for themselves loincloths. And then they heard the voice of Yahweh. So it's interesting that their eyes are open, but they no longer see God, they only hear God. And the voice of Elohim is walking around in the garden in the ruach of the day, in the spirit of the day, in the evening of the day, I think. This is the future anniversary of Jesus' death. It's the future anniversary of the first meeting of Jesus with the disciples in John 1. Here it's the confrontation of God with their sin. And then it says the Hithpael, the man hid himself and his wife from before Yahweh Elohim in the midst of the tree of the garden. So they're wearing fig trees, and then they're trying to pretend that they're part of the tree or something. It seems very strange to me. And then Yahweh Elohim called to Adam. Notice it doesn't say called to Adam and Eve, only Adam. And he said to him, where are you, singular? And he said, I heard your voice your voice in the garden, and I saw that I was exiled naked, and I was hidden. So this is a nifal, and it's like he hid himself, but he says I was hidden. You wonder if he's distancing himself at all from what he's doing. And God said, who told you that you were exiled naked? Is it that from the tree, so this is a hey interrogative, is it not from the tree which I commanded you, singular, not to eat from it, that you have eaten, you, singular? And the man said, Ha-isha, the first words out of his mouth, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave to me from the tree, and I ate. And Yahweh Elohim said to the woman, what is this that you did? And she said, Ha-nahash, the serpent, Hiphiel, caused me to be lifted up, deceived me, and I ate. And Yahweh Elohim said to the Nahash, because you did this, you are cursed. Cursed more than all the animals, and from the living things of the field. On your belly you will go, and dust, remember this is what man is made of, you will eat all the days of your life. And then it says, I will put Ava. So this is related to the word Job, which means enemy or something. I will put enmity between you, singular, and between the woman, and between your seed. So we've got the serpent has seed, between your seed and between her seed. He will crush your head or stomp your head, and you will stomp his, and notice that's the word heel, but it's a lot of the radicals of the word Jacob. So you wonder, is any of that coming into play? Now, I put extra credit here, Psalm 34:9 in Hebrew, it's 34:8 in English. Taste and see that Yahweh is good. So we tasted forbidden fruit. The psalmist is saying, taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. And you can see in Greek, taste and see, that hakurios is helpful, kind, merciful. Blessed is the man, same as the Beatitude, who hopes upon him. And then if you've tasted, that hakurios is Christos. So you can see that they're playing with this. And of course, this is applied to the Lord Jesus. And you can see that the Lord there is the Tetragrammaton. Hope you have a great weekend. Here's a study guide. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday.